Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in today's show, Tzu Chi volunteers in China continue to distribute winter aid supplies to residents of Hubei and Fujian provinces. Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers in Klang are practicing their sign language performance for the upcoming year-end blessing ceremony. Meanwhile, South America Tzu Chi volunteers bring gifts to orphans in a home and spend some quality time with the children. In China, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to provide local residents with winter aid relief in different provinces. In Zhangzhou, Fujian province, a 2-day winter distribution was held. To ensure the distribution went smoothly, all nearby Tzu Chi volunteers were mobilized. Among the volunteers was Gu Jianjun and Chu Jingru, both of whom had once lost direction in their lives. However, after joining Tzu Chi, they found happiness in giving, and both of them decided to take on the Bodhisattva path.
Vegetarian meals, would you like to try? Here at a vegetarian restaurant in Zhangzhou City, customers keep flooding in during lunchtime.
I'm used to eating meatless meals.
Now I feel guilty if I eat meat. The vegetarian restaurant belongs to a Tzu Chi volunteer, Chu Jingru, who uses a low-price strategy to get more people to eat meatless meals. She also encourages others to adopt bamboo coin banks. We should take on our share to save our world and help those who are suffering with our compassion and actions. It's hard to imagine that Chu was a vendor of abalones for dozens of years. We used to eat fresh abalones along the coast. The best way to cook them is by blanching. Learning of Tzu Chi at a winter aid distribution, Chu has since devoted herself to Tzu Chi's missions. I would rather lose my job than lose Tzu Chi because Tzu Chi has helped me so much. I used to have a lot of worries, but after joining Tzu Chi, I worried less. Gently carrying rice and supplies for the recipients is Gu Jianjun. Gu used to be a bad-tempered young man that was constantly getting in fights. Once when fighting 3 men, Gu remembered he was a Tzu Chi volunteer and stopped himself mid-fight.
Then I lay down to let them beat me as they like. In the end, I was bleeding and my leg was hurt. I got up and bowed to them to say thank them. They said they have never seen such a big fool as me.
The power of Tzu Chi has given Gu a peaceful state of mind and has helped him work on his temper.
Now I use my hands to help people instead of fighting people.
At the winter aid distribution, Tzu Chi continues to spread its care and love to the needy.
Moving to Myanmar, Tzu Chi volunteers partner with a local hospital to provide help for cataract patients receiving surgery. One recipient, U La Ting, vows to spread the word about Tzu Chi's good deeds once recovered from the operation.
Burmese resident U La Ting lost one of his eyes to war, and his vision in the other eye is becoming blurry from cataracts.
U La Tin lives by himself, so I came with him. If I let him come along, I would feel bad. After he regains his vision, it means I have done a good deed. I don't have money to give, but I can help.
Myanmar Tzu Chi volunteers are working with the local hospital to provide funds to help cataract patients receive surgery. Among those participating in the free clinic are doctors from China.
I live in China, Shenzhen, where Tzu Chi has an office. The office there have helped many people, so I really respect and admire Tzu Chi.
When volunteers ask U La Tin what he wants to do after regaining his eyesight, the man says,
I want to bring friends with eye problems like me to come receive free treatment and do what I can to help those in need.
Through word of mouth, Tzu Chi's free clinic has helped over 300 patients regain their vision, thus starting a new life.
Also giving patients a refreshed view on life is Tzu Chi's Indonesia chapter, which held its 88th free medical clinic in mid-December. The free clinic provided surgery to patients with cataracts and corneal problems. Moved by Tzu Chi's efforts, a local resident also volunteered to transport her neighbors to and from the free clinic.
Like one family, soldiers joined Tzu Chi volunteers as they convey warmth through a sign language song. Tzu Chi's 88th free clinic in Indonesia was held here at this military command center. The purpose of the free clinic was to provide surgery to patients with cataract and cornea problems, giving them the chance to regain their sight. Residents from elsewhere were surprised by the volunteers' kindness.
Luar biasa.
It's great. We don't often see friendly doctors. I hope the free clinics may set an example to other hospitals, so people who can't afford medical treatment may still receive help.
Hoping her neighbors regain their health sooner than later, Benny offered to transport her 13 neighbors to and from the clinic.
I'm happy that Tzu Chi is helping the poor to receive medical treatment. The cost of cataract surgery at the hospital is expensive, so when we found out about the free clinic, I immediately told my neighbors about it.
I hope the younger generation will devote more time to charity work, as spending time shopping or on online games lacks meaning.
This free clinic saw less participation from the younger generation. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to appeal to more youth so that they too may feel the joy of giving.
Continuing in Indonesia, residents there celebrate Mother's Day on December 22nd. Expressing gratitude to their mothers, students from Tzu Chi schools in Pantai Indah Kaput and Singkaran organized various activities led by teachers and volunteers. In a small gesture to repay parents' unconditional love, the students served tea to their mothers.
The classroom is filled with joy and laughter as the students put on lipstick for their moms. The strong bond between mother and child is evident through their interactions together.
The purpose of celebrating Mother's Day is for students to understand the sacrifices their mothers have made for them, and we also want mothers to know their children love them in return.
Schools in Indonesia organize events such as this to celebrate each Mother's Day. This year, Tzu Chi kindergarten students in Pantai Indah Kapuk and Cengkareng served tea to their mother to express their heartfelt gratitude.
I experienced a lot of difficulty giving birth to my daughter, so seeing her now so thoughtful and understanding, I'm really happy and moved.
Although there are celebrations each year, I am moved in different ways each time, like the tea ceremony today, inspire me to want to fulfill my filial duties towards my mother.
Handing gifts to their moms with a big hug, the children want to say,
"Thank you, and Mama."
Led by teachers and volunteers, the children convey their gratitude to their moms through a sign language song. Seeing the happiness and fulfillment on each mom's face makes clear that each child is the parent's most precious treasure.
Every month, the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter holds a training seminar for local volunteers. Although many of the volunteers are already old hands when it comes to sorting recyclables, during this most recent seminar, volunteers stress it is just as important to work on reducing our own desires and conspicuous consumptions. Using diagrams, volunteers show those attending the training seminar how to make a natural cleaner from environmental enzymes.
I was very interested in learning the formula for the environmental enzymes. Now I have learned how to make it from fruit peels and how it is good for the environment.
The Tzu Chi Philippines chapter holds a training seminar every month for local volunteers, during which the volunteers learn how to better protect the environment. At this session, the concept of reducing one's own consumption was stressed.
If it still works, we can keep using it. We don't always need to have the newest things, because that creates a lot of waste. For example, I have used this cell phone for 6 to 7 years now, and it is still usable.
At the end of the seminar, volunteers go home with not only the knowledge of how to protect the environment, but an understanding that reducing waste starts from our own actions and lives.
Hopping over to Malaysia, Tzu Chi Clan branch is holding its year-end blessing ceremony in which over 800 participants are taking part in the sign language musical of the Water Repentance Sutra. As the local Tzu Chi office is unable to accommodate all the on-stage volunteers at one time, the performers have been divided into groups to carry out practice sessions at various locations. These volunteers hope to put on a great performance at the year-end blessing ceremony coming up on January 13th.
Practicing the sign language movements over and over again, volunteers from Malaysia's Tzu Chi Clan branch are getting ready for their upcoming year-end blessing ceremony.
This is the Buddha. This is the teacher's whip, and you move the person up.
Beginning August, the over 800 performers have been divided into groups where they are learning the sign language movement at either Tzu Chi's office or recycling station.
We are mainly trying to motivate everyone to take part in the musical, and we want everyone to learn in a happy state of mind. Apart from the performance, we want the participants to understand the meaning behind the sutra.
Among the performers, Lin Yuzhu, who joined Tzu Chi's recycling efforts after watching Dai TV, not only invited her friends to take part in the musical, but has also taken on a meatless diet herself.
I normally eat chicken and meat, but after taking part in the sutra performance, if I want to eat meat, I will say Amitabha. All living beings are equal, and thinking of that, I don't want to eat meat anymore. I normally have trouble sleeping, but the day after I learned the sign language, I actually dreamt of the rehearsals. The songs are all very meaningful, so I will reflect on the lyrics. When we feel right about something, we should just do it.
The performers taking part in the sign language musical are all mainly friends and family members of Tzu Chi volunteers. One of them, 79-year-old Li Shu, is determined to memorize the movements.
I'm very happy here, but I'm getting old, so I'm not as flexible. When I'm about to go to sleep, I will tell myself that I must memorize the movements. It's as they say, age doesn't matter, so I must persevere.
Through learning the sign language movement and understanding the meaning behind the sutra, these volunteers also pray for a world free of disasters.
Staying in Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers Kin Yang Mui was left devastated by her husband's death. Thankfully, a Jing Si aphorism helped her get through the difficult time, and in gratitude, she later took on the Tzu Chi path and became a certified Tzu Chi volunteer. Now, she regularly holds charity sales and Jing Si exhibitions to help spread Master Zhen Yan's Dharma to more people.
The day before her vegetarian charity sale, Ki Yang Mui and her friends go to the market to pick out the freshest vegetables. Yang Mui once had a happy family. Unfortunately, 12 years ago, her husband died in a car accident. The pressure of taking care of her children and ill mother alone soon overwhelmed her.
I
kept crying like crazy. I cried very loudly. I prayed to the bodhisattvas to stop testing me because I couldn't take it anymore. I was going to break down if they kept testing me. Please, bodhisattvas, not anymore. When I was saying this, I couldn't stop crying. Later, joining a Tzu Chi event, she heard a Jing Si aphorism that comforted her immensely. Master said, as we aid others, we are in fact also sowing blessings for ourselves. When I heard this, my tears kept falling. I said to myself, thank you, Master, thank you for accompanying me. Taking on Tzu Chi's path with gratitude, Ki has devoted herself to volunteer work. Now she regularly holds charity sales each month as a way to get more people to join Tzu Chi.
My family donates to Tzu Chi every year. This is the receipt of the donation. Sister Yang Mui introduced me to Tzu Chi.
It's not enough to rely on myself alone. I hope to get more kind-hearted people to do good deeds. Though she looks healthy, Yang Mui has developed heart problems as a side effect of her medication, as well as a waist problem. However, she is still all smiles as she sows blessings for others and herself. When will I stop being a volunteer? I'll keep working until I die.
Returning to Taiwan, Yan Mingfu, who lives in Kaohsiung's Taoyuan district, suffered spinal cord injuries in a car accident that left him severely paralyzed for the last 18 years. When team of doctors first visited him in November, they found Yan had many bed sores. Team of doctors, Hong Dian, sought ways to relieve the patient of his pains. After some time, the doctor managed to find a recycled electric medical bed at Tzu Chi Gangshan liaison office and was happy to be able to deliver the item to a much-needed recipient.
At the Tzu Chi Gangshan liaison office, Tzu Chi volunteers cautiously pack the electronic medical bed as the equipment cannot get wet. This is team doctor Hong Dian, who after some time and effort found an electronic bed which is used for patients with spinal injuries at a recycling station. From Gangshan to Renwu district, volunteers travel 2 hours before arriving at the mountainous area of Taoyuan district.
When he sleeps, you can pull this up. When you look after him, during the day, you can put this down.
Having had to take care of Mr. Yen for the last 18 years, no words can express the tears and hardship this family has had to endure.
You have to help with his rehab. Help exercise his legs. What we really hope for is for him to walk on his own in future.
No matter how far, Tzu Chi volunteers always bring love to those in need, taking care of their families and relieving them of their hardships so they may find joy once again in their lives.
As part of Tzu Chi's worldwide year-end activities in South America, volunteers in Brazil's Itaquaquecetuba held the last of a series of aid distributions for those in need. Joining the Tzu Chi volunteers at the distribution was a school principal, teachers, and students home for the holidays. While in Paraguay, Tzu Chi volunteers visited an orphanage in the city of Ciudad del Este, where they brought gifts and cheer for the holiday.
With the arrival of the Tzu Chi volunteers van, children here at this orphanage in Ciudad del Este, Paraguay, rushed to help with the unloading. Volunteers are here today not only to bring these children daily necessities, but to also spend some quality time with the orphans. The children happily follow along with the volunteers' song and dance. Being orphans, these children cherish the attention and love from these visits. Moving over to Brazil, volunteers recently visited the city of Itaquaquecetuba, where they held the year's last aid distribution. Recipients are all familiar with Tzu Chi procedures and wait patiently in line for their turn. Helping out at the venue are students who are home for the holiday, teachers, and a principal. Regardless of age or profession, everyone was united in their support of the event and did their best to ensure its success.
Jumping to Italy, Tzu Chi volunteers have not forgotten about those earthquake survivors in Bondeno and Finale Emilia. Recently, they held 2 winter aid distributions to help those residents living in temporary tent shelters. Local volunteers also participated in the distribution and found it rewarding and heartwarming.
In Munich, Germany, it is 4 in the morning and the temperature outside is -5 degrees below zero. Tzu Chi volunteers travel 8 hours to Italy before arriving in Bondeno and the Finale Emilia, where the aid distribution are held.
You're coming from very far. You are in Taiwan. And I see that you are very well organized and you are doing things with your heart, and not only by talking or by thinking, but doing things probably for people. And I really like it because that's what is needed, especially when things like earthquakes
At the aid distribution for finale in media, volunteers realized the condition inside the makeshift tents are what survivors live through every day. Without a heater, volunteers keep warm by busying themselves and helping out disaster survivors. Despite the distance between Italy and Taiwan, this senior shows his gratitude towards Master Zheng Yan.
I feel hope, in a way joy, because I feel that human people can be brother and sisters to each other, even though their culture and their place of living are so far. And so this gives to me some hope that day by day we can build.
Tzu Chi volunteers from 5 countries all work tirelessly towards bringing a brighter tomorrow for these earthquake survivors.
As 2012 marks the 60th anniversary of the accession of Queen Elizabeth II, countries within the Commonwealth of Nations held events to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee. Following the tradition, a Diamond Jubilee medal is being awarded in Canada and other Commonwealth nations. To thank the selfless dedication of the Tzu Chi Foundation over the past 20 years, the Canada government awarded the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal to Tzu Chi.
Here at the Parliament building in Ottawa, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived to receive an esteemed honor presented by Canadian government.
On behalf of all Canadians, I'd like to thank Master Cheng Yang for her many years of spiritual guidance for the members of Tzu Chi in Canada and around the world, for having given such a magnificent expression of the highest forms of Buddhist practice, of love for all of creation.
Recognizing Tzu Chi's selfless dedication in Canada for the past 20 years, Canadian government awarded Tzu Chi with the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal.
Millions of hours of volunteer work, tens of millions of dollars raised, and compassion demonstrated for those less fortunate in Canada and around the world is a great testament to the Master and to all of those who have followed her teachings in Tzu Chi. So thank you very much.
Upholding the ideal of helping the needy, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to hand out food and winter aid supplies in Canada and assist those who suffer from disasters around the world.
At the end of the show, we go to Malaysia's Johor Bahru, where Tzu Chi volunteers are holding 2 year-end blessing ceremonies. Many residents head to the venue ahead of time to help decorate, while some are busy with last-minute practices. This event is filled with participants and performers of different cultures, but all is united in garnering blessings for the upcoming new year. As it is the last Tzu Chi This week for the year 2012, on behalf of the staff here, I'd like to wish you a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2013.